Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Thursday, October 31st, 2013. First, let's take a recap of yesterday's announcements. The ADP employment report and the FOMC meeting announcement were the two biggies. The employment report consensus was 138 and the actual was 130, and they also revised down the previous month, which happens frequently, but nobody ever hears about it unless you actually listen on these. Oops. And the meeting minutes, FOMC meeting minutes, basically says that they are going to continue on their present course. No taper yet. Keywords to look for in here. The Fed funds target rate is still practically zero. But they're in a conundrum here, I think, when they say that they're looking, before they start to taper, they're looking for a 6.5% unemployment rate, but that's a little bit deceiving because that's just the people that are looking for work, people that give up looking for work, that may be getting money from the federal government in the form of unemployment, or other assistants just aren't going to look for work, or they're living off of something else. So basically, if we do get down to 6.5%, you have to look at the participation rate in order to really get an accurate picture of that. And then today we have jobless claims, which would be initial claims, and they're looking for a number of 335. And a lot of times, they're just blaming a lot of bad numbers on the government shutdown. So that just tells you that maybe the government's too big. If the government shuts down, that it has such a huge impact on the economy. You would think it would have, rather than a negative impact, that it would have a positive impact. But for today, that's what we have: the jobless claims, Chicago PMI, and then a bunch of Federal Reserve data will be coming out later in the day. So looking at markets around the world, over in Asia, we were overall bearish, pretty solidly bearish, I would say. And in Europe, we're pretty much looking the same way there overall in a majority of the indexes. All right, so what's happening here? Well, so far today, we're in the range here for a negative open. So we're looking a little bearish here too. Gold has sunk a little bit, and you can see that over here. And oil is creeping up a tad, but not much. I noticed gas went up a little bit yesterday, up about 5 cents overall, up around the 134.9 range, or 135 range, or I should say $1. I'm sorry, 335 range, where it was at 321.25, somewhere around there previously. But I haven't put gas in my car in over a week, so I'm fortunate enough that I don't drive that much and gas prices don't affect me that much, but I know, looking at how much traffic there is out there, that a lot of people should be concerned about the price of gas. In our account yesterday, I had alerts on Google and SPX, so let's take a look at Google. I had two things that I wanted to do with Google. There's really nothing happened here currently, so I'm just going to jump right over to the A+ list, and we'll take a look at Google. Okay, our alert was set up here at 1037.79, and it opened below that and just more or less continued down for the rest of the day. So there was no bullish trade there where I was going to do either or, and I might have done both, a 1-to-1 trade at the money or a regular directional trade with a 20 delta. Neither one of them looked good yesterday. And the alert on SPX went off, and I came over and I took a look at it a little bit later in the day, much past 10 o'clock, probably was closer to 11 o'clock when I looked at it, and it didn't look good, so I took a pass on this 1755 level here, which would have been, at least this morning, would be in a lot of trouble because we're at 1755.75 right now, so it would have been in trouble. Also, I was looking at Apple for a bear call, and that did not pan out either. Now, I thought I had an alert on that. Maybe I neglected to put an alert on it. It definitely did not trigger. Alright, so let's look over here. No. No, I'm not seeing it there. I wish they would keep a history there a tad longer. Maybe there is a way to do that, but that's what I was looking for on Apple. Sort of a counter trend trade. Today is Thursday, so I would be looking for overnight trades. And what I'm going to look for this afternoon around 3 o'clock or so is I'm going to look for something that's up here maybe at 1% or more in the percent change for the day, and it has to be in the direction of the trend. So for instance, Netflix, well, let's look at Priceline. If Priceline moves up today 1% or more around 3:30 this afternoon, I may just go in and see if I can do a 1-to-1 risk reward, something at the money where I can collect on a $5 spread. These would be, right? Where I can collect. These are $5 spreads, so I'm looking for $2.50 in credit or thereabouts. $2.40, $2.60, $2.30, that would be good enough. And it would be at the money or slightly out of the money over here on the put side. So let's take a look here. Okay, right now I could get $2.45 for a 1070 strike. We're at 1068 if that's the way it is this afternoon, just as an example, and price has been moving up today. Then I would say, yeah, I'll do this trade, because tomorrow it may gap up a couple bucks and I'll just close it very early in the day and take my $100 or whatever I might get out of it and run. Because what happens here is if I was to add a day to this and it goes up, we're at, alright, let's go to here. We're at 1068. Say it gaps up a couple bucks today, and we get in on this 1070, and it moves up later on this afternoon. I would be very happy taking $100 overnight on this trade, which is really kind of a high probability trade. Okay, so that's it for this afternoon for the overnight trade. I was thinking about an iron condor on Goldman Sachs and didn't even look at it for that during the day yesterday. We'll take a look at their chart and see, yeah, I was looking to do the bear call side of an iron condor. But now I'm starting to think that, well, maybe that might not be such a good idea because we may be in a new upward trend here. So I'm just holding off on that a little bit longer. All right, let's jump over and do our scan. We'll start out, of course, with Apple. And Apple had a nice day yesterday. It had a nice open, and then it's tapered off during the day. But it had a pretty nice day, so we're still looking for this hook here. This target here is still valid. It just needs to mature a tad longer. Amazon, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen here with this huge gap up. So we need just a little bit more time before we decide exactly what it is we want to do with that one. Baidu had a very good open after earnings and then a huge pullback. Now we have a hook up here, but just too much movement here, so I'm going to take this target off of here and wait to see what the trend's going to be on Baidu. Celgene, not a very good day yesterday at all. Is there a reason here? Let's see here. I don't see anything that, I don't see anything. It's just, it's a drug stock, so, what do you expect? They're going to be flying all over the place. This target, however, is still valid. And just move it a little bit. It's just going to take it a little bit longer to mature. And there's no reason why it wouldn't come down here to the 50, as it probably has done in the multiple times in the past, and then bounce off of it. So we'll need a little bit more time on that one. CF, huge gap up here when they sold their, announced that they're going to sell their potash holdings in Florida, and now it's still trying to find its way here, and we have earnings coming up, so we're going to hold back on that one. Chipotle continues to amaze. Might be the next $1,000 stock. Who the heck knows? At least they actually sell something. But we're waiting to get down here to this target. Might be kind of running out of gas currently, but let's just see what happens. So we need a little bit more time on that one to ferment a bit. And Google, here's our alert. I am canceling this alert. Am I? Yes, I'm going to cancel this alert. Or, let me see here. You should move it down. I'll move it down a little bit. And we'll leave it there. Just want to have my cage rattled if it moves up today. Alright, moving right along. Goldman Sachs. We took a peek at that one before. Not seeing any direction, any convincing direction here at this time. We have momentum on the weekly, maybe starting to curve up a tad bit. That might be a good thing. But we still need a little bit of time on that one too. Now LinkedIn, they had their earnings. And they were really extraordinary earnings based on what was expected, but wow. I'm not seeing anything here. Facebook had their earnings last night, and it was a mixed bag. It was like many other ones, like Apple, shoot up and shoot down and then end up right back where it started anyway. That's pretty much what Facebook did. But yesterday was just, I'm going down and I'm not stopping. So a lot of people dumping Facebook, or I mean LinkedIn. MasterCard, you know, when we get candles like that, they're exciting, but, you know, you just gotta like step back a little bit. So MasterCard did not have a very good day yesterday either, but it managed to hook back up a little bit. But we have earnings coming up, so we're not going to do anything with that. Netflix, I'm still trying to decide what the heck is going on here with Netflix. It's definitely not making a move price-wise, and our 9-day is, I haven't looked at this one in quite a while, but I like to look at it when I'm trying to figure out what's going on short term, very short term. So the 9-day is also just kind of hanging around there, not doing much of anything. Priceline, remember, we're looking for direction, or if we think something's stalled, we might be looking for an iron condor. Is it gutsy enough to do an iron condor on Priceline? I don't know. We have earnings coming up. Not touching it. SPX, we just might get a down arrow here, so I'm not going to do one this week. Taking a pass on it, it's too late. And it's a tad bit early for next week, too. I'm going to at least wait until tomorrow. Tesla. Had kind of a nice open and trailed off a little bit. So I was thinking that maybe this is support, and it might just break through that support. So we'll give that one another day, and we have earnings coming up on that. And last but not least is Visa. We have a target set down here. We have earnings last night. So let's take a look at that on our chart. Whoa, okay, this did not look too good. Took $6 off of it, about 3% last night. So it's definitely going to gap down at the open. And we're not going to do anything with that one either. We're just going to wait for things to settle down after earnings season, and we can get into higher probability trades as new trends get established or old trends get confirmed. So that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.